So today is a day 15, not yesterday, on my 110-day She Maverick challenge. Um, a theme that's been kind of underlining my days of recent is such deep sense of contentment with my life and with my days. Like every hour of my day, I kind of almost like pinch myself and just go, my God, am I so grateful for the life I have. Because I'm so content with it. I have nailed it. And this is day to day. So it's not like I nailed a vision and I'm now working towards it. I have arrived at my, I was going to say ideal, perfect, but I don't want to use those words. Just life and days that are so beautiful for me. And the key to this beauty is this aloneness, this separateness, this distance I have between me and others. It's not the world, because I'm still very much in the world the way I am, meaning online today. That's really enough to say one is in the world. But yeah, I have pared down my communication to bare minimum, absolute bare minimum, and the only ones I have are just joyful and heartfelt, meaning because I want to have them. And they're still rare, meaning they're still not daily or much, they're not too regular. And I might need to change my hands because this is painful. I am so unfit. And that makes me think about how there are pangs of fear that come my way when I am just too happy. I'm just like, I'm just too happy. Something's gonna happen. This is gonna burst. The bubble's gonna burst. And then I think of times when in the past it has burst, but it was not on the back of discontentment. It was just burst. So if, let's say, I would have a great time with someone, a friend or someone I met recently, and we just connected and we clicked and we had an amazing few days or a couple of weeks. We saw each other often or something, and then I was spent. Literally, I physically had nothing left in me to give or to just turn towards that person. The energy was taking me back in, right? I wanted to be with myself alone. And okay, there's a jogger. I don't want to share this with them. And so I would withdraw. I would just basically do what I want to do, which is not get in touch, not be in touch. And this was never a matter of being upset or disliking the person or stop liking the person. It wasn't ever an end on my part. It was just a break. But I didn't know how to communicate it without talking about a break, which is sort of too similar to breakup. And this is important because for many, many years, decades, I would not speak of this with someone. And then eventually, like let's say 10 years ago, I started on a couple of occasions and I had to use the word breakup or break, and it didn't land well. And this is all friendships. So this is not relationships like romantic ones where we need a break, and certainly my time. So I'm 51 to remind anyone who's just joined me for the first time. And yes, I was right. I mean, you can just, it doesn't land well. And I don't know how else to have those conversations without being, like I say, honest, and which is a respectful thing for me to do to someone, to be honest, and then I'm never, I never go out my way to be hard or harsh, but you kind of are saying, look, I just want a break. I don't particularly want to hang out for a while. So anyway, like I say, it didn't land well. Those couple of times, a few times actually, it just kind of ended the relationship. And fair enough, again, that's fine. The friendship, that was never a friendship, meaning it was a new thing. It was a relatively new connection, so it didn't become a friendship, is what I mean. And that always saddened me. But so where I'm at now in my very few connections I had, and I maybe even stopped by now, some of them having or whatever, is that part of daily, or rather every communication I have, every exchange I have with these individuals always carries that note of like, yep, see you when I see you, speak to you when I speak to you, if ever. Well, maybe not that, but even so. And that's beautiful, and that's That's the language of healthy connection. It's like, you know, now we had a fantastic exchange. This is fantastic. Yeah, if I don't hear from you for a while, that's great. Or even if never, that's fine too. You do what you want to do. You do what you gotta do. You do what's right for you. And for me, every time on the back of these exchanges, it was right to just take a big break. And then I would get back feeling guilty and sheepish because, again, I was right, or I don't know, maybe you can say I evoked it or whatever. Fair enough, possibly. And then, there would be always that kind of funny feeling, I need a break again. Basically, because friendships are the last frontier of conscious relating, as I like to say. Um, this kind of stuff I'm talking about is very much acceptable in romantic relationships, but not in friendships. Or at least, like I say, my generation, and I'm talking, like I say, I'm 51, so what I'm doing now, this much healthier way of connecting, which quite younger generation. And I recently had a situation with my generation friend, like someone I was very close to, and we basically, well, I don't know, broke up, or um, not with some bad words necessarily, but it just sounds like it's just that invitation for a break. I'm just wondering what fell on my head. Didn't go down well, or it wasn't acknowledged as a kind of, yeah, great, see you when I see you, or whatever. It was kind of, I never heard from them, so I presume it's the end. But yeah, it's I find that sad, and that's actually, if you think about it, if you're the one doing this to someone like me, right? You have someone like me in your life, and you're doing this, like, not receiving this well. It's essentially an unkind thing. It's like you're a friend. You want what's right for the other person, and if, as long as they're not malicious, as long as they're not horrible to you, that's what's the problem, kind of thing. And the problem is that you are not getting what you want, which is more regular connection that the other person doesn't want to have necessarily. And which essentially boils down to utility. And if that's what your friendships are for, and that, in my experience, is what friendships conventionally are. It's like, okay, you do this for me, even if it's just making me feel great, or actually helping me concretely with something specifically, and anything in between. When that stops, or rather the upset and the disapproval of any breakup or any break needed, is like, well, what am I going to do with stuff that you used to give me and you used to do for me? I want that. Why are you taking that away from me? So that's the root, in my experience, of these kind of behaviors. And if you think about it, that's just bad, isn't it? I mean, that's not a friend. That's not a friend. So yeah. So I, hence me never, ever, ever identifying with a friend, let's say archetype, or type, or friend category. It's just like, that ain't my kind of friendship, or that ain't the kind of friend I am. That's it. Day 15 over. See you tomorrow.